Hello, Brian's for Brian's Art for Animals here, and this video marks the 10-year anniversary of Brian's Art for Animals being on social media. That means for 10 years I've been traveling around this crazy world trying to promote how cool animals are. Now, in order for us to have enough room for these amazing animals out there, we as humans need to leave as small a footprint as possible. And to practice what I preach, I'm going to show you a few of the things that I do to help leave that small footprint as possible. And be sure to tell me on the comment section what you do to leave your small footprint. So first off, one of the things that saves us money and also allows us to leave a smaller footprint than the average US household is by setting our thermostat to 64 in the winter and 77 in the summer. The average United States household usually sets it around 68 for winter and 74 in summer. Now this is at times when we turn this thing on, as we try to keep the house as open as much as possible all year round. We live in the Chicago area, so we see some drastic changes from hot to cold every year, and spring and fall seem to be shorter and shorter. Now some people feel that setting your house to like 63 or 64 in the winter, well, you're going to be very cold, but don't worry. Setting it at this temperature gives you plenty of chances to wear all those cool hockey jerseys and sweaters you've been waiting to wear all year. The less you rely on your furnace, the more you can save money. And I like big money. Here in the United States, we live in a very disposable society, and we make a lot of trash. Now in our household, we do about one of these trash bags a week, which is about equal to how much we recycle. So in order for me to stick to my plan, I like to make things very convenient. So right by the door I have the recycle bag and the plastic bag. Now after I put these recyclable items in a recyclable bin outside, I make sure I recycle this bag with plastic bags. You always want to learn what your recycling company will take, and ours unfortunately won't take these plastic bags. So we have to bring all these to the grocery store. Now plastic is convenient, but what an evil little thing it is. It's everywhere on the land, and now it's found all over the oceans, which results not killing only animals like birds, whales, and sea turtles, but also being eaten by fish that we then eat. So eventually it gets inside of us. Ugh. Come to think of it, we pretty much have recycled pets around here. This dog is from a shelter, and so is this cat. Nothing like rehoming animals. Now for travel, close by things, I obviously try to walk or take a bike. We chose this house a lot due to location. It's right next to a train system, which is some awesome public transportation. And it's only a few blocks away from where I work. All that is in order to try to offset my airline travel. I tend to go overseas once or twice a year, and of course airline travel leaves a huge carbon footprint. Water. Now for water, we tend to do shorter showers here. Unfortunately, we live in a town that you pay for a certain amount of water even if you use less. So even though I'm paying for what comes out to be almost twice as much as what I'm using, I'm still not going to use that extra amount because I'm paying for it. I'm trying to think in the big picture of conservation. Now outside, I've set up a rain barrel right off the garage. Even a little rain coming off only one or two sides of the garage is enough to fill this thing up and let us water our plants for weeks and weeks to come. We also have a dehumidifier inside that we run during the summer months. We can take that water out and also water the lawn and other plants. More often than not, this is actually just food for the local squirrels, chipmunks, and rabbits. Speaking about food, I try to go as meat-free as possible. This is a topic we often hear people say, unless you do everything, man, become total vegan, you aren't doing anything. I say, man, don't listen to that. We all need to try to do something. And that all for nothing attitude actually turns a lot of people off. We need as many people on board as possible. For instance, even though the human population increases by every year in the US, the actual amount of slaughtered animals has gone down. Obviously means less animals being killed, which is awesome, but it also means less resources and land usage to feed and house all these animals for human consumption. Also, you want to try to eat what you buy. This sounds stupid, right? But Americans toss out around 40% of what we buy. So planning meals or how often you go to the grocery store can save money, time, and resources. And don't even get me started on how much the actual grocery stores seem to throw away. And be sure to read the labels. Palm oil is found in everything, food items to beauty items. And people growing the palm oil clear-cut forests, which is home to many cool animal species like the orangutan. So the less we use, the better. Try to avoid it at all costs. With our food purchase, we're voting for what we want. When I was little, meatless options were impossible to come by. Now there are tons and tons. I will occasionally eat seafood, so it's important to know if your seafood is sourced sustainably. This is an area I know I need to improve on. For instance, I made a video some years ago about Asian shrimp farms taking away land for feline species like the fishing cat. Now, I don't always check where my shrimp is coming from, so again, no one's perfect, but we all should try to do better. Now, this next topic is a very personal choice, but one that should be discussed and not so darn taboo when we're talking about animal conservation or what we leave as an eco footprint, and that is people. My wife and I are child-free, so our global footprint pretty much ends when we cease to be. Now, of course, people are free to have as many kids as they want, but we should look at the growing human population and its effect on resources and the environment. A lot of problems like pollution, traffic, growing rates of poverty, and more land used for agriculture is a direct result from the growing population. This is another newer problem for the planet, as the population explosion is really only taking place in the past 100 years or so. Now, we don't have to go crazy and all out like Avengers and kill half the people on the planet. That's insane. But we do need to at least discuss the issue and look at things that help slow down the population rate, like supporting women's education, as in a lot of places around the world, the more educated the women are, the less kids they will have, and also access to birth control. Again, it's a personal choice, but one that should be discussed when we talk about being eco-friendly and the footprint we leave. Now, I know our economy is set up on consume, but it's a good thing that we all appreciate our resources and look into how we can leave a smaller footprint. And one thing we all need, no matter what you eat or how much trash you make, is a healthy planet for us and for future generations. Thanks for watching.